Tzedakah, my dear friends, as we keep on saying, let's do it together, because together we will all merit together all the wonderful blessings and the ultimate blessing of finding ourselves in the Beis Hamikdash. Talking about the Beis Hamikdash, one of the most important, if we could say so, prestigious services which was done in the Mishkan, that was in the desert, and then eventually the Beit HaMikdash, is the Ketoret, the offering of the incense. There were two altars. There was Mizbeach HaChitzon, Mizbeach HaPnimi. The external Mizbeach, where the animal sacrifices were brought, and there was Mizbeach HaChitzon, Pnimi, and then there was the inner Mizbeach altar, made out of gold, where they would sacrifice, they would bring on a daily basis, twice a day for that matter, offering the incense. Now we know that those sacrifices all correspond to our sacrifice, to our relationship with Hashem. As the pasuk says, "Odom ki yakriv mikem korban," when the person will be offering from you the sacrifice. So the sacrifice is not only the animal or the incense that we bring; it's all about us. So what is the meaning of the ketoret? What is the meaning of the special service of the incense vis-a-vis our service of God? So it's interesting, as we just said, every day the Ketoret would be offered, that incense, and on Yom Kippur, on the holiest of holiest days, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, would enter in the Holy of Holies, and there also he would be placing Ketoret, and he would leave the room once the whole room was filled with a fragrant smoke. On a very simple level, Maimonides writes for the rational, and he says the reason why it's necessary for this ketoret, for this incense, because of all the animal sacrifices that were brought in the temple. And this left a bad odor. So we needed just to purify, to bring some more pleasant fragrance in the temple. But obviously it's much deeper than this. And especially thinking about it, that we would bring it in the holiest of holiest. There are no animal sacrifices over there. So in Kabbalah it's explained that the animal offerings of the temple represents, as we said, the person offering his own animal soul to God. The subjugation of one's natural instincts and desires to Hashem, to God. Because the animal soul of man possesses many positive traits that can be directed towards positive ends. But at the same time, it is also the source of many negative traits. So when the person brings his animal self to the temple and offers the finest parts of it on the altar, there is still a foul odor. Selfishness, brutality, materiality, the animal aspect of a person's life. So therefore we need the ketoret, that incense, because the ketoret possesses a unique capability to sublimate even the bad odor of the animal soul within its heavenly fragrance. And why is that? So the Rebbe explains it as following. Offerings are called korban. Korban, which means coming close. The incense is called ketoret. Ketoret is reflecting the Aramaic word for keter, which means bond. B'chat ketirna is ketana. We bound with God. So, although the korban represents a closeness, getting closer to God, from the word lekarev. Yes, we committed something inappropriate, we bring an offering, and this rebuilds our closeness. But closeness doesn't mean that we bond. We can be very close to each other, but not necessarily did we bond into becoming one entity. So the ketoret represents and reflects the uplifting and the rectifying of the more inner an essential connection that we have with God. And when this connection is revealed, then all the other outer aspects, the foul odor, disappears because we bond completely with God. And that represents the essential bond, the essence of our relationship with God. And it's interesting. One of the incense that would bring was the chalbanu that had a very bad odor. Now, why would we do this? And this is the 11th. Because the 11th represents that inner dimension which is beyond the 10 attributes. That oneness. Even the one who unfortunately has a bad odor, but with the ketoret, by bonding the essence of us with God, we're all part of the holy service in the temple. And may God help us that we should already see it today.